In this video, we talk about a few things you need to be considering if you're thinking about switching from a handyman to a fully licensed general contractor. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting and host of the Big Stud Sales Podcast. Today we're going to talk about some things to keep in mind when switching from handyman to fully licensed general contractor. The first thing is obviously the test. The test can be a little daunting, a little overwhelming, but some things to consider are there are plenty of resources out there that you can read, watch, and learn from. That's free. There's also courses you can take, one-day courses. They're probably $1,000 to $2,000 for the class for the day to teach you how to prepare and what to do to be the best you can be for that test. And then obviously the third could be talking to other people in your marketplace or anywhere really in your state. I would suggest staying within your state to talk to other people because tests might vary and stipulations might vary state to state, even county to county sometimes. Do your research ahead of time, figure it out, but understand that it is an open book test. You just need to know where to go find the answers in order to be successful in getting your license. There's a few other things that'll go into that. I'm not gonna talk about that in this video. There is a video I did on how to start a construction company, which is about a 10-minute video you can go check out for a few more details on that part of it. But here's some things that some people don't think about that I want you to be aware of before making this transition. One of the biggest things about being a general contractor compared to a handyman is you're going to have to outsource / find subs to help you complete a lot of these projects. Right now, you might be doing a lot of the work yourself, you and a helper or your team, where you're not managing other people, specifically other businesses, to accomplish the goal. Finding subs can and will be very daunting. It will be frustrating and it's not always easy. But a few best practices here are talk to other contractors in your marketplace about who they're using for specific trades. Do some research on Google or Facebook or Instagram and find some companies and contractors in the area that do the work that you need. But ultimately, don't be afraid to dig into them a little bit. Go look at some of their work, talk to their project managers, talk to their field employees. Go do your due diligence before just saying like, hey, do you do paint? Great, I got a job for you. Like, go dig into it a little bit to make sure that they communicate the way you'd want them to, protect the job site the way you want them to, and obviously their quality of work meets your expectations, because it's one of the most frustrating parts is to have to redo work because you hired a sub that was not capable. So go out, do your due diligence, look into them, test them out, maybe potentially on a smaller project before giving them one of your bigger ones that are out there. One of the biggest things is going to be cost of running the business. Because you're increasing your license, you're going to increase your job size, which is probably why you're going through the hassle of making that happen to begin with. So understand that things like insurance is going to increase for you. It's based on total revenue and total liability. So going from a handyman to a full general contractor obviously increases the underwriter's risk level for your business, which increases the cost of those things. So things like workers' comp, general liability, potentially covering equipment that is more expensive, all those things increase in price as you start to scale up. Another big one is making sure that your business name matches what you're trying to do. As a handyman, a lot of times you'll have Mike Claudio Handyman Services or Fix It Phil, right? Those are really cool when you're a handyman, but they obviously diminish the value of your full general contractor license. So going through a name change may be frustrating because that business might be your baby. It might be something you've had for a long time, but changing the name can have extreme value in the long term with just making sure that the name matches the type of work and the quality work that you do. Obviously, as a general contractor, you're gonna be doing larger projects. Having handyman in your name does not set the right tone, it does not give the right image, and does not set a great first impression. One of the biggest, most frustrating and riskiest parts of this is adding the subs and adding bigger clients and having more moving parts creates a larger risk of you dropping the ball on something or some sort of piece of information falling through the cracks. Right now, it's likely you on job sites talking to your clients. Well, when you turn into a general contractor, you're not gonna be around as often and you're trusting other people, i.e. subs, which is a separate business, to deliver on that project. So Figuring out a great way to communicate between yourself, the clients, and subs, making sure you have that process ironed out will limit the risk you have of letting a client down and hurting your overall reputation because you did not have a good system and process in place. Ultimately, you always want to communicate great, but in the sense of leveling up from handyman to that, you're going to potentially hurt yourself if you don't have great systems and processes in place. So that's just a few of the things to consider. I was having a conversation with one of my clients about what he's going through right now, going through that transition, and those were a few of the things that he wished he had a little bit more information on or knew ahead of time. So if there's something you're dealing with and you want to ask me a specific question, check me out on Instagram at WinRate Consulting, or shoot me an email, mike@winrateconsulting.com, so I can help get you the problem solved so that you can win fast and win often.